Guys, what's going on, man? What's going on? Just starting up here. Just doing a little bit of Gran Turismo 7. Yeah, and the works with getting Ghost of Yote. Pretty soon. I'm just kind of contemplating on getting the collector's edition or just the regular one. Kind of bummed that all these collector's edition. You're not getting like the physical copy anymore. It's very rare you get the physical copy. You know, I just can't justify. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say justify, but it's kind of taking me hard to spend like 250 on the. I think it's like 250 or somewhere around there. Um, for the collector's edition. I mean, you do get the mask and you get the coin game. Um, you get a whole bunch of stuff that you don't really, going to use. I mean, I have a bunch of collector's editions and stuff like that, but you know, you don't even get like I mean, at least some games you get like the steel book, the steel case for the game. So at least if you choose to go buy the game, you know, you have a steel book to put the game in, a steel case to put the game in, because like last time what I did with some other game, I think it was Spider-Man 2, or yeah, the Spider-Man 2 um, game. It came with like a steel book, a steel case for the thing. So basically, what I did is I sold the code and purchased the physical copy with the thing. So it's basically like traded in the game for the thing. So like they don't put the physical copies no more, which I find they should do. The physical copy is what it's nice, to have the physical, because you're already paying a whole bunch of money for the collector's edition. Like, I know part of it is like the the the, the figure, or if it's like a mask, or like in some places like Call of Duty, they had the night vision goggles that actually work. Um, yeah, then they had other stuff, like they had the remote control car from the last one, because like a replica of the car, the C4, the car with the remote control car with the C4 on there, and it had a on the control, on the remote, had a camera, stuff like that, and you still get the physical disc. I bought the Kakarot, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot collector's edition. You get all the stuff plus the steel book with the game in the steel bookcase. You get the diorama, all that stuff. Now everything is just digital stuff. I find they should have like a choice. Like a SKU or something. Collector's edition with the physical disc, and collectors with a digital one. But I know those devs, they're gonna probably charge you like $300 and some dollars with the disc. Probably charge you over $300 for the disc, plus everything. So I don't know, but that's my just 2 cents. They should be able to have that at least in there. I'm just playing a little bit of Gran Turismo, like to kind of like pass time here. Soon I'll be playing the soon I'll be playing Ghost of Yote on here. But yeah, I'm just thinking about doing that. Kind of bummed that they, these like every I don't know if it's for like all consoles, but like the collector's edition, they don't put the physical disc in there no more. They don't. You know, I find they should run it with at least like a digital version and a physical version. There's people out here that still wants the physical disc. I remember when you get the collector's edition, you get everything. When you buy the collect, that's like the top tier. They have like the base game. Then you have like a mid tier that comes with the steel book and all the digital, content. And then you have the collector's edition with like that comes with everything from the bottom two tiers. You get the steel book, digital content, all the stuff. I remember when they used to do that. That was like you know, but now everything is like, oh, you get you get the collector's edition, digital only. So you're paying two something, and you don't even get a physical disc. You don't get a physical disc no more. So that's what have me kind of thing. I'm not like a big YouTuber, so I don't get like early access and all that stuff. So every game I play on here is with my my hard earned the money I pay for all the stuff. So it's not like sponsored or anything. So I mean, I hope to get to that point where where I get it's gonna be hard work to get to that point, but I guess that's the way how this is the way how the cookie crumbles. You just have to go with the waves how it's going now. But I've been watching a couple of people play the game, and from what I see, it's pretty good. I mean, I didn't doubt, I didn't doubt that the game when I saw the game when it was going to be released. I I wasn't really worried about it anyways. I know the game was gonna be a spectacular masterpiece. I mean, the game is a masterpiece. I mean, it has good music, good background music, good everything. I mean, scenery is breathtaking. If you ever played the first one, Ghost of Tsushima, it's pretty good, and they had the good. The multiplayer was not that bad though. I played a couple of the multiplayer. It was pretty decent. Yeah, it was. My controller got a little bit of stick drift. Yeah, the first one was in that. The first one was. It was good. It was in. I always say if you haven't played the first one, play it before you play this one. I mean, the story is not really intertwined, so it's a different story between the first one and the second one. The only difference is that the second one they refined combat and everything a lot more, and then obviously they have the PS5 Pro Things like 60 frames per second. Like if you have a Pro PS5 Pro, you get 60 frames per second. Very good ray tracing and all that stuff. You have that options there. So that's the difference between the Pro and the regular one. But even though on the regular PlayStation, it still looks pretty good for a console game. But yeah, so I mean, other games that I haven't got Sparking Zero. I was trying to get that game. I was trying to get that collector's edition too on that one. But Bandai Namco, kind of hit me in that one because when I went online and I tried to get the game, I had it in my cart, but for some reason it won't let me check out. So that's what happened with that one. So you want to raise status there still. I pressed that wrong. Yeah, let's take that loss. That's fair and square. I took that loss pretty good. I didn't know. That was fast. Okay. Fair square. Fair and square. So he probably has at least over 1,000 horsepower in that thing at least. Yeah, but at least over that. I don't know if that car could be swapped, but it probably is. Alrighty then. Road cars only. 60K marathon. Hopefully when they got this Spec 3 update, they do something. They could do something with this thing where they have like a dedicated like drag track or something online options. As the disconnect with these games now, the devs, they don't go on. They should have people go on there and at least, like, you know, check and see what the community is doing. Now you see a lot of people doing drags, and if I was one of the devs, I would be like, all right, let me this next update, we have a dedicated drag track lobby or something where they could go and people could spectate, and people could enter in their car. They could spectate while they spectate. They could enter in the car and all that stuff. Something like the other lobby where you meet in the parking lot. Can't remember what his name, but it's something like that. Nobody. Let's go to another track that has what it is. I think it's Daytona. I can't remember which one it is. Daytona road course. There's nobody doing. Yeah, so they should have like how they have the paddock here. They should have drag racing. Exactly the paddock where people have a quarter-mile track, roll racing. You can do roll racing and drag racing. People could enter with the cars and then, you know, they could do it. And if they would do it, it would be good. Let's see. Let's do a little lap and I mean, I could just, you know, do some Should do some races to get some money. I don't want to be too. Might be a little bit quiet here because I can fit on the road here. Oh, come on, bros. What's the end of the game? Jesus Christ. I get a feeling that this is why there's no much people in the lobbies, man, because people keeps on either jumping out or kicking people or something. I don't know. This is what happened in the. That's what they did in the other Gran Turismo. I think it's one before this one where they, if the host drops off, it goes to the next person. That way, it doesn't. I don't know if they have this feature in this one where the host just kills the whole entire game. Let's go to Laguna Seca. Let's see, man. We do a couple runs here and there. I don't know if the Ferrari could do it. Should be able to. Hopefully they don't limit the power. Snap. We got that DAT. Let's see. It might be a little bit quiet just trying to concentrate, get a good lap time in. And there you go. And the first one, run off the road. Doesn't want to turn in. I'm so rusty. This one needs some TLC. Man. That car not turning at all. I see this will be able to do it. Oh, you son of a biscuits. You son of a biscuits, man. 600 or less. Bro, I can't get like a good time attack on. Only Porsche track day. Let's go. I don't even know if I have a Porsche. I should have a Porsche, but I don't even know if I have a fast one. So 100. What we got? There's a lot of body roll on this thing. Let's see. Let's see. Settings. Car settings. Details. What do you have? I got a little stiffen it up a little bit. Be able to do this. I think it's my, I don't know, my controller is being able to stick to it. Every time I come off the other side, it rolls to the other side. So I don't know if it's because of the controller, it does roll. Alright, let me just try this for a second. I'm gonna take off this control. I'm gonna put another control on. read the top 10. What I tell you, that's rude awakening right there, and yeah, rude awakening, man. I tell you, I used to be able to do that, but along with hardly any things, but I don't know if it's because of the Porsche or what. Porsche tend to usually want to step out, man. But I'm using the controller. Probably be better off with the steering wheel, but but these. So I don't know if it's because of the Porsche. It tends to want to step out in you. But yeah, that's crazy. Because only. Let's see. PP points 900. Did I go on this? I don't understand something. I went for the Laguna Seca in this thing. The freaking car was acting pretty good in this. is nuts. Damn. All right. Let's see. To the people that joined me on the way, it's been an hour at least. Thank you for the person that's been watching here. I hope to bring you some more stuff, man. I know I've been saying that last time I played Gran Turismo 7. I'm just, just kind of playing around in the lobby here, seeing what lobbies they have and all that stuff. Usually I'm online with some friends playing Mortal Kombat and stuff. We'll get into that again. So yeah. Alright, guys, this will be the end of this one. You guys have a good day, and, subscribe, share, and like, comment, let me know what I'm doing wrong, give me some pointers. I don't mind, let me know. Alright, guys, you guys have a good one, and be good.